to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for, what is it, October the 14th through October the 20th. And thank you guys. Thank you for all the likes, shares, comments, and the new subscribers. If you're returning, thank you so much for your loyalty and support of this channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope you love these readings, or like them at least, and that you will come back. Now, these are general readings, guys, and they are for the collective. So keep in mind that sometimes Spirit needs to give a specific message to someone. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And if you would like a more personalized, tailored reading, you may click on this link here or go to my website. All the links will be below. This is for your sun, moon, and rising too. So those links will be in the show more section below too. I have a Facebook group, and I do a live stream in that Facebook group every 2 weeks. I'm a little late on it. I'm hoping to be able to do one tomorrow, Sunday. I'm hoping that some of you get this in time. I have been extremely busy this week, kind of organizing and getting everything ready, and I've been doing some reading, so I'm very grateful. Thank you. Now, what else? Another way to support me, guys, is through Patreon, and click on that link for it or look for it below. Check it out anywhere. I usually post things there that I don't post anywhere else, although I've been really laxy-daisy on my posts this week because things have been like, I've got to get stuff sorted. Anyway, lastly, these readings come in 3 sections, guys. This, the intro, and I'll put a skip time to this if you're checking out your sun, moon, and rising below. Then there is the astrological report, and I'll put another skip time if you're checking out your sun, moon, and rising. And then the tarot reading, the tarot card reading. So without further ado, let's go to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to Live in the Solution. This is your astrology report for the week of October the 14th through the 20th. There's not a lot going on. On Monday the 14th, the sun is square to Pluto, right? Well, that's kind of been happening anyway, particularly over the full moon on Sunday. It's forming a T-square, and that's, if you want to check out last week's, check out, because I talked about that last week. So the sun square Pluto, right? The sun is the life force. It's, you know, the light, it's energy, it's joy, right? And Pluto is darkness and deep, and and from the underworld, right? So it's like, this is like dark versus light, right? Good versus evil. We're going to have kind of a tumultuous time with this. Like sometimes it's like, oh, so much stuff is happening and, you know, you can't cope. And then something wonderful pops up. We're still feeling this beautiful sextile between the sun and Jupiter. So we're still feeling that. We'll be feeling that for most of the week. So that's really nice. You know, bursts of abundance are coming in. So it's lovely to feel that. Now, so let me give you an example of how Pluto square the sun is for me. Like, I've been really deeply organizing and getting rid of all my old paperwork, you know, taxes from years and years. So shredding and sorting. And the more you sort, the worse your place gets. And I had some help, so it was lovely. And so that was really lovely. Honestly, that was amazing to have someone help me. So then that starts like, oh, let me move this around, let me move that around. Then I'm going through photographs and I'm crying because I'm seeing my mom and my brother and reading cards that he'd sent me. And then, you know, and then in the middle of that, somebody contacts me for a reading, or so it's very, you know, opposing forces, if you will, are coming in and out. But it's almost like you feel the appreciation more with it. So, squares are motivating. So it kind of gets you up. Listen, you can be optimistic, but there's no point. Optimism without action is futile, right? It's foolhardy. So it's important to be optimistic, but it's important for our actions to match that optimism. We have to kind of get up and do something. And no matter what we're doing, it's shaking up the energy, right? It's like quantum physics, it's shaking it up so something good comes in. Now, on Wednesday, Mercury is in this beautiful relationship with Neptune, right? It's a trine. It's gorgeous. So you've got this, Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, writing, publishing, right? And Neptune is this creative, ethereal, spiritual planet, but it can also have a negative effect. But because this is a trine, it's going to bring out its best qualities, right? So it's very good to meditate. It's very good to write, anything creative, visual arts. It's a brilliant time to do that. And what's really beautiful about this trine is that at the same time, Saturn is sextiling both Mercury and Neptune. So Saturn's bringing in structure, because Neptune can take you on a journey in your head, and you're like, before you know it, you start thinking about something, and then before you know it, 3 hours have gone by, and it's like, oh my God, I got to do all this. That was me today. But with Saturn at play, there's some structure there. Saturn's like, come on, get it together. That's great. You're having those fabulous, incredible, creative ideas. Yeah, come on, let's get some action in there. Let's do it. Come back to the ground and start doing what you're supposed to do. So it's not. There's not loads of things going on in the celestial sky this week, but I think really beautiful things. And we're feeling the full moon for this week too. For most of the week, we're going to feel that. And so it's great, darling. It's not too heavy, and it's just beautiful. So I wish you a wonderful, abundant week and filled with action and positivity. And let's go to the tarot card reading, shall we? Hello, Pisces, and welcome to the tarot card section of your reading for October the 14th through October the 20th. And thank you for your patience. It's very late, and I'm trying to stay up all night to get these readings done. Get them up on time. So, Pisces, I'm wearing my brother's hat, by the way, my brother Michael, who recently passed away. He had this fez hat for like decades, so I just recently received it, and I'm wearing it in his honor, channeling my brother Michael. All right, Pisces, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Pisces for this coming week, the week of the 14th of October through the 20th of October? 3 cards for Pisces. Oh, it was about 50 cards there. 3 cards for Pisces, please. 3 cards for Pisces. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Pisces? There's 1. Okay. 2 more cards for Pisces, please. 2 more cards for Pisces. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information. Oh, there's 2. There we go. Okay. Lovely. Oh my goodness. It is really interesting. There is a card that has come out in nearly every reading this week. It's really, really interesting. Okay, these are clarifying cards for Pisces. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Pisces through these clarifying cards for the week of November the 14th through the 20th? Sorry, October the 14th through the 20th. I was thinking October, but I said November. Okay, please clarify. Please clarify. Oh, OMG. Oh, very, very poignant. Okay, and please clarify. There we go. Okay. Let's look at your cards, shall we? Okay, Pisces, the first card up for you is the Seven of Wands. Then the next card is the Ace of Wands. Then you have the Fool, clarified by the World and the Death card. Then you have the Nine of Pentacles, clarified by the Knight of Swords. Okay. Pisces. Okay, the first card out for you is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands comes up when you need to kind of stand your ground. And when I mean stand your ground, I don't mean be stubborn or anything like that. But I do think that it's like if you're, it's going against the peer, the group, right? Even when it's uncomfortable, because you know it's right. It's what feels right in your heart. It's what you know to be right, what you know is fair and honest. So I always use, the example of being in a jury, right? And it's Friday night and it's this very complicated case and everybody wants to go home. And if you can't reach an agreement, you're going to be sequestered, and nobody wants that. So they're all going guilty, 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 guilty. And you are like, no, there's doubt there. I'm not so sure. I can't honestly do that. And you do want to go home. You don't want to be sequestered, but you know it's the right thing to do. So it's kind of a challenging time. And then you've got to try and convince the others, right? So they're like, oh God, you can see it in their faces. You can hear it in the tone of their voices. And it's like peer pressure, right? And you're really, no, look, I understand why you think that, but look, this is why I think this. So it's really about being diplomatic. It's really about being patient. And it's about getting your point across from a higher perspective, because he's got all these wands coming at him, and he's from a higher perspective. It doesn't mean he's looking down on them. It means that he's got a higher vibration. He's answering to a higher calling, to his higher self. And clarifying that is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is a brilliant, wonderful opportunity. Look, it's like, the hand comes out of the cloud and it's giving you this sprouting, fertile wand. And this is a gift, you can grow this. You can make this like a spark that starts a flame, right? That can start a fire, turns into a blazing bonfire. I mean, it has so much potential. So by standing your ground, this is an opportunity for you in some way that will reveal itself. So just don't compromise your values, is what I'm saying. That's the message with those two cards. Now, the next card, Pisces, is the Fool. This has really come out in lots and lots of readings. So if you know your sun, moon, and rising, check them out. The links will be below. Oh my God, so late I can barely talk. So this is a new beginning. Look, first of all, this means change. And there may be a little fear in some change for you guys. Because when he comes in, you're being asked to take on the Fool's energy of saying, oh, this is so exciting. I don't know what's going to happen next. I wonder what's around the corner. This is like a big adventure. Whereas when you've been beaten up by life, sometimes you're like, oh God, what's around the corner? How am I going to survive this? What's going to happen next? And you're in fear and angst because you can't think of so you're in the worst case scenario kind of thing, right? Well, clarifying this are two very interesting cards. One is the death card, which means transformation, purification. This is definitely something that's really changing for you, and you can go forward on this new journey. So this is when one door closes, right? And another door opens. It's death and rebirth. So don't mourn the door that's closed. Shut it. Don't look back. Open the door forward, because you've got this chance for this new adventure and new ways. And look, you have the World card, and the World card is all about, it's like you've had all this experience, all this knowledge, you've gone through life, you kind of, completed a lot of accomplishments. You're where you're at now with a lot of experience. And you're at this turning point where you can continue to do what you have always done, and you will get the same results. But when the World card comes in, it's saying, no, go forward. Excuse me. Do something different. Now, I'm going back to the Death card because this represents Pluto as well. And Pluto is having a T-square with this full moon right now. Pluto is on Monday is square to the sun. It's like these two, this is energy, life and death. And it's this kind of play between the two energies, light and dark, good and evil, life and death. And it's rebirth. I think you're in the hallway. You're in the channel of, rebirth, of giving birth, of being reborn. And the world is saying that this is an opportunity for you to do things differently, to really start this journey with excitement and know that it's an adventure, and do things differently. Learn from mistakes you've made in the past, and don't make the same mistakes. Go forward, with your experience in hand, but do something different. And the universe has your back. Doors will open for you. Now, the next card you have is the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is like dreams and wishes come true. So this is like, you're going to start to see this new life kind of paying off, this new trajectory in your life. There's potential here. I think of the Nine of Pentacles as potential, really, right? So it's 9. She's not quite made it. She hasn't got to 10, but she's already living in the opulence that is promised to her, right? So sometimes I think that she might, she's celebrating, and yes, celebrate, but don't over celebrate. Don't stay at the party too long. Don't overextend. Don't live beyond your means. If you've had the tendency to live beyond your means before, to overindulge, then rein that in and do things differently this time. And Pisces, you have this, the Knight of Swords, right? The Knight of Swords is like, here I come to save the day. He's rushing in, and he's like, if he thinks somebody's doing something nefarious, he's like chopping off their heads. He's very gallant. He's the truth seeker. Everything's got to be honorable and right, and he's in service to the king, and he'll do anything to fight for justice. Out of all the knights, he's the most champion for justice. So sometimes when this card comes in, and he's very fast energy. He comes in and he leaves. This could be, it's the swords, it's the air, it's intellect, it's communication. Do not take any shortcuts this week. Do everything for the higher good of everyone. And it's kind of the same message as this. Whatever happens here, even with look, she's making money. Most of it's down. It's like there. She sees it. Be careful. Don't be tempted to do anything nefarious or underhanded or anything like that. I'm not suggesting that any of you would, but just in case. play by the books, play by the rules this week. Be, take the traditional path. Don't do everything for the higher good of everyone. I feel that this is karmic energy coming in here. So you must walk the straight and narrow, Pisces. Pisces, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, social media. Comment. I live for comments and feedback. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.